All right, you guys. So today we're going to get a look at our Savage Opress Black Series 6-inch figure for the Star Wars, the Clone Wars line of figures. So a very cool figure. I got it in this week from Entertainment Earth. And I'm really excited about this figure. This is a figure that I most definitely wanted to have in my collection. Let's go ahead and get a look at this figure. So getting a look at the figure, guys. Of course, as always, we have our Black Series logo. We have our character's name off to the side, Savage Opress. He is number 19 in the Black Series, the Clone Wars line of figures. Your warning label, 4 and up, Hasbro logo. You also have his saber right there in the window, also with his other weapon. So some really cool stuff for the front side of the box. Let's get you a look at the other side of the box. All right, you guys, and then getting you a look at the other side of the box, you have Savage looking very menacing with the gold going up into the black and white silhouette. Very, very nice. The background, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you know what, let me get a look at this. So the background behind Savage looks like it is, I believe, on a ship. Looks like the hallway of a ship. If I'm not mistaken, I could be totally wrong about this. And it most definitely makes me think of the duel that took place between Savage, Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Darth Maul. If I'm not mistaken, and it's been a while since I've seen this episode of the Clone Wars, where they basically were stuck on a pod or a ship, and they were fighting, and then somehow Obi-Wan and Anakin were able to escape. And I might be mixing it up with Ventress. It might have been Ventress and Anakin fighting the two. I forget, man. It's been a while since I've seen that particular episode, but that particular background just kind of makes me think of one of the many battles that Savage has had, not only with Anakin, with Palpatine, which is the diorama that we're going to depict, the battle between Maul, Savage, and Palpatine, guys. So there is a look at the side profile of the box for your Savage Opress 6-inch Black Series figure, guys. And then for the back side of the box, you have, again, your illustration of the figure, your Black Series logo, Savage Opress. You have your blurb, number 19 in the Black Series line of figures for the Clone Wars figures, and your readables all at the bottom of the box. Some very, very cool stuff. And then, of course, for your blob, it does read, Monstrous Warrior Savage Opress was Count Dooku's assassin and secret Sith apprentice. But he remained loyal to Mother Talzin and the mission to find his brother, Darth Maul. So a excellent blurb on your figure, Savage Opress. Very, very awesome stuff. All right, you guys, and we have our figure back around to the front. So once again, we are going to get you a look at the figure, the articulation, the details on the figure, of course, his weapons as well. And then we will get our figure in a very cool diorama. So please do stay tuned. All right, you guys. And wow, with the figure out of the box, I really love this figure a lot. And I just held him for just a few seconds. But I do like this figure a lot. This is what gets you excited about an action figure. Now, this particular figure is what they call a deluxe figure. He comes at a cost of, and I'm trying to remember what I paid for him. I think it was about $34 and some change from Entertainment Earth. That's California without tax. I can't tell you what the tax is off of the top of my head, but he is pretty pricey. But he is, again, what they call a deluxe figure, a massive figure, kind of probably not as hefty as Zeb, quite not as heavy as Zeb, but just as tall. I believe Malbus maybe a little bit taller than this guy, he would fall in that deluxe line of the Black Series figures that are a little more costly than your average figure, which goes for about $25 here in California. So again, I do like this figure a lot. I do like the soft goods that you get with this figure. Very, very awesome. It comes with 2 weapons. I think the detail is extremely nice on this guy. As a matter of fact, guys, let's go ahead and get you a look at some of the detail on this particular figure, guys. Let's get you a closer look at this figure. All right, you guys, and then to get you a closer look at the figure, again, very, very nice detail. I love the detail. The detail here, very nice emblem, very awesome. Again, you have the soft goods, which helps you with the articulation for poses and stance. I love the ball joint that you get in the ab there, which is really very nice for opposability. You have his fingertips, which are sharpened and colored. So that is really awesome detail right there. Look at the face sculpt, and just going off of what we saw in the Clone Wars, unfortunately, we haven't seen this character in live action, but he looks really good based off of what we saw in the Clone Wars of this character. His shoulder pads, which is really, really nice. The boots, just an awesome job. You get a look at his 2 weapons there. Nice paint apps for the weapon. You get a shiny metal looking blade there with a darker color gray for your handle. And then, of course, for your saber, getting a look at the hilt, double-sided hilt, very nice with the red blade. So really, really, really nice job with this figure. I am extremely excited and very happy to have this figure. Get you a look at the back. He's just extremely awesome, guys. Very, very nice job. All right, you guys, and then to get you a look at the articulation with your Savage Opress figure, guys, let's get you a look at the articulation. It's going to give you a straight arm like so, an elbow bend that goes back about that far. He actually would give you a 360 all the way around, but the shoulder pads kind of hinder that. So unfortunately, he can't give it to you with the shoulder pads, but he does have that flexibility though. For your T-pose, there is no hindrance with the shoulder pads. Excellent job, very nice. So in the elbow, you do have a twist in the elbow. You have a twist in the wrist. You do have a back and forth hinge in the wrist for your right hand. For your left hand, there's an up and down hinge for your left hand. He gives you a wide stance that's about that wide. Really, really nice stuff there. Kicks out about that far. Knee high, about that high. He goes back about that far. He has a twist in the thigh, a twist in the knee, in the foot. He goes down about that far. Doesn't go up too far in the foot. Of course, you do have the rocker. You have the rocker in the foot as well. In the ab area, he goes down about that far, back, very, very far. Very, very nice range. Right to left, very nice. In the head area, he goes down about that far, very good. Looks up about that far, and head nod action in the head. So some excellent articulation with your Savage Opress 6-inch Black Series figure for the Clone Wars line of figures. Very, very nice. And then again, to get you a look at the weapons, you get a very nice silver for your blade on his spear. And then the rest of it is in a very, very dark gray to distinguish it from the blade. So very nice paint apps there. And then for your hilt, just a beautiful job with the paint apps. You have the red button there on the one side, the black lines in the middle. So you have some very good paint apps there, your 2 red blades. So a very, very nice job with the lightsaber, okay, you guys. And then to get you a size comparison of your Savage Opress figure versus his Knight brothers, you have the Archer and the Warrior version of the brothers, the Knight brothers. As you can see, he towers over them significantly, much bulkier. Definitely, again, is a deluxe style figure, and that's why you're paying the extra cost, basically, for this figure. But they do give you a second weapon, some soft goods, and some really good additions with this particular figure. Of course, with some excellent articulation as well. So very impressive figure, very posable figure. So I am most definitely satisfied with the purchase, even with the extra cost of the deluxe figure. Very, very nice figure here, guys. And there is your comparison to his Knight brothers. The one comparison that I can make in regards to height is concerned is I have Snoke with me because I wanted to use Snoke's throne for my diorama. So I just happen to have that figure with me. And as you can see, he's right up there with Snoke. And Snoke is a very, very tall figure. So there is your comparison in regards to height is concerned, and how much taller these figures are compared to your standard size 6-inch figure. And you put them up against the Archer and your standard 6-inch figure, and as you can see, there is most definitely a size difference there. So really, really cool stuff there, guys. And there's your comparison in regards to the height is concerned for your Savage Opress figure, guys. All right, you guys. So we're going to get our figures in a very cool diorama. So please do stay tuned. All right, you guys. So there you have your Savage Opress figure for the Black Series 6-inch line of figures for your Clone Wars figures, guys. Very, very awesome figure. I absolutely love this figure a lot. It is a deluxe figure. It is somewhere in the price range of, I believe, $32 to $34, depending on where you are. But I believe it is worth it. I know figures are more expensive, and then who knows what's going to happen with the tariffs that are going on currently here in 2025 under the Trump administration. Not to get political, but that's just the nature of the economy at this particular point. So we're not sure what that's going to do to the prices of figures, because we do get these figures from overseas. So we'll see how that goes. Again, here you have a deluxe figure, which I think is very cool. I think he's absolutely awesome. You get 2 weapons with this guy. He has some very, very cool paint apps. He definitely is a very large figure, and his articulation is absolutely awesome. So I'm very satisfied with this figure. Now, if in the future, if these deluxe figures end up being about $40, then then we might be having an issue with picking up figures at that particular cost, when you're not getting the quality of, let's say, a figure arts style of figure, which is somewhere actually probably a little bit more than that. If I'm not mistaken, it's been a while since I bought a figure arts figure, but obviously figure arts, you're getting a lot better detail. You're getting more weapons, you're getting more hands, more accessories with those figures. So that's why the cost is so much for those figures. Here, the Black Series, you usually don't get the additional hands and things of that nature. And it keeps the price for these figures reasonable, where you can pick up the multitude of figures that they put out in the line. Just makes it easier to collect those figures when you're not paying $60, $70 like you would for a figure arts figure. I believe I paid about that much for those figures. So, and God knows what the cost of those figures are going to be after the tariff. But very cool figure. I think it is absolutely awesome. It is at a very high price point, but I think it is most definitely worth the price point. This is a figure that I definitely wanted for sure. Absolutely no doubts about it. And I am very, very satisfied with this guy, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in regards to the Savage Opress figure. Have you picked him up? Do you plan on picking him up? Is he a sought-after figure for your collection, guys? Let me know. Put those comments down below, guys. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And of course, guys, from the Father to the Son to the Obi-Wan Force Ghost, may the Force be with you always.